After completing your tunnel design in Trimble Business Center, as well as construction is completed in the field, you can then use tunnel as-built points to create report and drafting deliverables in TBC. We'll start with a blank project to import some data into. We have our tunnel design information in the form of a TXL. This consists of our alignment, our templates, our shapes, and template positions. We also have a JXL that consists of our as-built data from station setup. So you can select both these and drag and drop them into TBC. We want to keep the scale factor from the imported projects, so we'll hit OK. And we can ignore the warnings for now. So we can see here we have our alignment and our JXL imported. If we have some control points here from our JXL. If we zoom in, this is our area of interest. These are our as-built points. We can open up the 3D view tab, and we can see total station observations radiated in from this station, and we have a general tunnel shape with our as-built points. We can go back into our tunnels tab, and we can open up the tunnel view. We can see what kind of shape we have here. Essentially matches what we have in our as-built. We can scroll around, see that the tunnel geometry remains basically the same. We do have some different shapes and some interpolation in there. We'll go ahead and create our tunnel mesh just so we can see that. We can leave everything as is and hit OK. And there's our tunnel mesh. We can compare it to our as-built points. Looks like we have the same overall geometry, probably a little bit overbreak there, which should be fine. So back in our tunnels tab, the first thing we have to do for reporting, as you can see here in the reports group, is to assign tunnel points. What the assign tunnel points command does is it associates every as-built point with a station along the horizontal alignment. This is required for reporting purposes. As you can see here at the top of the UI, we have the first instruction to select the tunnel. In this case, we only have one tunnel, so we don't need to change anything here. So we can move on down to the selection method. We'll see here we have three selection methods: from job file, specified station, and station interval. In this case, we'll be using from job file. This is the easiest method, but it is associated with the Trimble Access tunneling. When you survey your as-built points in the field using Trimble Access tunnels, you'll automatically assign every as-built point to a station. So what this method does is it just recreates that link in Trimble Business Center. The other two methods we'll get into later, and they can be used to take any other sort of as-built data using other field equipment or even scan data, and you can assign points to stations in a more manual method that way. We also have the option here to include disabled points or backsite points. We'll just leave these excluded for now, and we can hit add. So we can see here we have the stations that we have the points assigned to. Again, what we did here was just recreate the link from Trimble Access Tunnel when these points were surveyed. You can go ahead and expand any of these nodes, and you can see all the points that are assigned to a station now, along with the tunnel shape. You can see here we have 4 stations that we have points assigned to. If you look in our 3D view, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, so that makes sense. In here, you can also choose to delete any individual observations you don't want, or you also have the option to delete all the points if you need to start from scratch. The final option we have here is this closed tunnel as-built. Whether this is checked or unchecked will depend on your tunnel design geometry, as well as the as-built points that were observed. This will mainly affect your tunnel areas in reports, as well as how the cross sections are viewed. We'll get into some examples of how this could affect our reports shortly, but for now we're done in this assign tunnel as-built points command, so we can go ahead and hit apply. And you can see here we have 192 points that were assigned that we can now use in our reporting. Here we can see an example of 2 tunnels, an open tunnel design on the top and a closed tunnel design on the bottom, along with if the as-built points are specified as open on the left and closed on the right. In the top tunnel, the open shape, there's no underbreak area when the tunnel as-built is specified as open. If it's specified as closed, you can see the software draws this line connecting the dots from one side to the other, as well as there's a significant amount of underbreak area that you may not want. Looking at the bottom are closed tunnels. You can see if it's specified as an open tunnel as-built, then there's a gap created. In this case, since we have closed tunnel geometry, we don't want a gap between any of our points. Specifying the tunnel as-built as closed results in the image on the right, which can be seen as a more accurate area calculation.